Thousands of Americans drive past this 7-foot-high anonymous Confederate soldier in Alexandria every day. The soldier faces south towards what was once a confederacy of slave-holding states. It's one of roughly 1,500 Confederate symbols on public land in the US, but to many, those symbols cause great offense.
Because it stands for the organization, grouping of states, grouping of individuals that fought to keep African Americans enslaved, solely for their economic power.
Alexandria's council has voted to move the statue, but so far it's been blocked by the state of Virginia. This Confederate statue in Alexandria, Virginia, like many others across America, is prominently placed in the middle of town. But the question is it an historical monument or a celebration of slavery?
I think they're very offensive to so many people, and they bring up such painful memories of a very painful time in our history.
I don't think there's really a place for them like in the middle of town. It's kind of glorified. There's probably a place for them in like a museum or something.
The violent protests involving white supremacist groups against the removal of a Confederate monument in Charlottesville have thrust a debate about US history back into the national spotlight. Polls suggest that just over half of Americans think Confederate monuments should remain in public places. Campaigners in Virginia now want to see more recognition given to African American history. In Alexandria, this bronze sculpture shows the Edmondson sisters, two women freed from slavery who campaigned at the forefront of the abolitionist movement. Conservative writer Jarrett Stepman has concerns about tearing down Confederate monuments, but does support erecting more diverse statues.
I think celebrating the fact that this country has changed over time and building new statues to great leaders and great men who we admire, I think is a better way to go than simply saying, well, let's purge this part of history, let's purge that part of history, because sooner or later you'll have no history at all. And I think that's a real danger in this debate of where this could lead to.
More than 100 years after America went to war with itself, the wounds remain raw, and the country is still grappling with its short history and how it should be told. Kate Fisher, CGTN, Alexandria, Virginia.
Let's get you some perspective now on the racism in the United States. I'm joined live from Lagos by political analyst Achike Chude. Achike, how have Nigerians, though, been reacting to this renewed debate on racism in the United States, especially since there are many Nigerians who live there? How badly are they affected?
Well, I think we've been watching what is going on in the United States, and a lot of people are actually very surprised that America, that is supposed to be the beacon of democracy, and good political conduct, has found itself mired in this very primordial and parochial situation of racism. It's not exactly too long, after it was felt that the blacks themselves, had won a major victory. And so people were talking about, yes, I mean, America had not exactly gotten there, but it was always, something in progress. And what we are now seeing is a total negation or reversal of the achievements that have been made over the years. And of course, it has a very serious implications. So many Nigerians in the United States, a lot of them have contributed positively to the development of that country. I mean, they find themselves, in different walks of life. So a lot of Nigerians really are worried about what is going on. Of course, a lot of them have been subjected to all kinds of ridicule and attacks and so on. And they are really worried about what's going on there.
So the United States, though, is the world's strongest economy and tells all of us it is the example of what democracy is meant to be today. But we are seeing that racism, we are seeing Islamophobia, we are seeing fascism and even neo-Nazis, not just in the US, but across the globe. So is it time to turn away from countries that are traditionally seen as examples of good governance and democracy?
Well, like I said, it's one huge, disappointment what is happening in the United States, because, like I said, it's supposed to be the beacon, of progress and development and democracy. I mean, in the world, they tout themselves as the biggest democracy in the world. And a lot of achievements have actually been made there. But the reality is that what is going on there is an indication, that some of us also have to be exactly very careful, because we had thought that they had gone beyond, this level of, primordialism like that we are seeing, but obviously they have not. I do not exactly think that countries, people should begin to turn away from that country and the other countries that are exhibiting this level of xenophobia and then racism. I think, again, it is dependent on how the political leadership in those countries, especially in the United States, are able to come to grips with what is happening. The fact that you have this kind of conflict going on in the United States tells you that there are people with different ideological positions with regards to racism. Some are actually resisting it. Some are actually confronting it and all of that. But I think what is critical is that, it's the support, or maybe tacit support, that some of these people seem, or the encouragement that some of them seem to be having from the American administration, especially at this particular point in time, that is beginning to worry a lot of people.
Right.
The political leadership does not seem to come to grips with what is happening and then to adopt the right kind of approach. So like I said, it is a disappointment,
right,
but I do not think this is the time to begin to turn our backs on such countries. They are working on it. We hope that they will be very, very serious about trying to adopt the kind of measures that can be brought to bear to stem what is going on. Otherwise, they are going to pay a price economically. People in America are paying.
Right.
Non-Americans have made huge strides in the United States. They have helped to build, that country. And so, if they don't take care, they might begin to lose some of these benefits.
Achike Achude joining us there from Lagos. Well, thank you.